So in previous video, I mentioned how it's important to have irrigation for wounds. Especially this is kind of like, it's really the first step you need to do. You don't need the creams, you don't need, even if you have very expensive dressing, the first thing you really need to do is clean that wound. And when we need cleaning, you don't need to sterilize it like a lot of people try to do with putting alcohol and stuff. Irrigation with water that you can drink, so if you can drink it, you can irrigate with it, is sufficient. So it seems in the kit that I was talking about that a small device like this could help for a lot of little things. And people were saying, well, it takes a lot of space. And yeah, like I was saying, it got me to think, well, it seems like there's way, it seems like when it comes to first aid, it's quite interesting now. I'm kind of discovering that people don't apply the same concept that we apply as survival. As survival, people will use multiple use, so they'll have like items that have multiple purpose. Well, in first aid, there's the same concept. Like now, when I look at my first aid kit, and if you follow my channel, you kind of notice that my first aid kit is changing a lot. It's because of that. Because now I'm applying the concept that nothing gets inside it unless it have at least two function. And function as not like starting fire or anything, even just a function as medical. So if it can use more than two wounds, or if it can use more than two different things, it should have its place in there. But if you use like simple, a good example, if you use only simple band-aids, the band-aids will be a useful thing, but the cheaper ones, if you go on the higher end ones, they can be used for blisters, burns, scrapes, small laceration. So now you see I got like 4 or 5 different wounds or 4 different injuries that I can use my band-aid versus the other band-aid that is basically one-time use and that's it. So this is what I mean by different use. So what I came with is I wanted to show ideas, because a lot of people think like, oh, like a syringe, what do you want me to do with that and stuff? Well, it is good for irrigation. There's other purposes as well that you can use it for. But a syringe itself can become like a little kit, and I'll show you. So I was mentioning that the syringe that you should have is a 20, well, that you should have. The syringe that most studies have explained, because like I was saying about irrigation, is the PSI, so the pressure square inch on it, is best applied if you have a 35 cc syringe, which nobody has. But if you have a 20 to 25 cc syringe with a little tip, an 18 gauge on it, basically you get yourself a very good irrigation device. You achieve the maximum, so not too much, but not enough as well. So you get the right amount. So this is a 25 cc syringe, but as you can see, it's pretty good. But as you can see, I put stuff in it. See, now I got pills that could be a Tylenol, so I could carry about 2 or 3 Tylenols of this. I got other pills over here, which is aspirin, but they could be used. So you can see, I can get like a lot of syringe in. And actually, here, right here, what I've put is 2 tablets, and actually you can see I can carry more tablets of for water. So right now in this syringe, and I got another empty one right over here. Actually, I got 2. Yeah, I got 2. One here. Yeah, I got 2 different compartments that I can use as well. So the other one that I was going to use, you can put the syringe of the 18 tips inside there, and also honey. When we talk about the good use of it, you could make one of those special straw, or even like buy those straws as Starbucks or other places, and basically put a straws of honey over here. So now with this, that means I can control pain. I can purify my water to irrigate. I got my syringe that I can have, like even I can administer medication with that if I had to, so intramuscular ones. And I got my syringe to irrigate my tips. I got my things to purify my water, and I got honey that can be used for wound care. So I can apply it on the wounds, and like we mentioned in the past videos, and I won't go back into that. But also now I got honey that can be used for if in case that I have an hypoglycemia. So also I'm starting to talk about medical purpose, as well as the top over here. There's not those ones, but you know, like those little. Because right now I'm kind of moving stuff around and stuff, so I couldn't find them. But there's small things that can be used for those ones that become like little towels. But there's little ones that you can buy even at the dollar stores. Well, if I put one on the top over here, so that means now I have one dressings. And now you have also all this space here. I could put a whole one about this size, or even if I want to go with the big Coban, I can put the whole Coban here. So not only that I can, and we talked in the past with Coban, not only now I have something that I can use for wound care, but as well as Coban can be used for strain and spraying, which is pretty much one of the biggest thing that we will be used. But if I put like a 2-inch, the 2-inch ones over here, that means that I can get, or the large one, I'm not very good with the inch, but the large one right over here, that means I can have this. As well as you're going to apply your Coban, we mentioned about before Mepitel, so which is very thin, so it takes it's about the size of my nail. So that means that I can put a piece of Mepitel here, roll it with Coban, which wouldn't be much, especially depending on which one I use and stuff. So now, inside this small syringe, which this space, I have a whole first aid kit that can take care of pain, hypoglycemia, burns, dressings, irrigations. It can purify waters. It can also strain, sprains, and other stuff as well. So, and if you know, even now, if you want to get even to more creative and start improvising using the syringe itself, that means that you can even use the syringe for anything else. And actually, even this is rubber, so even if you would have to or want to, that means that I never tried it, but probably that could be a fire starter as well. So that means that you could use that for that purpose. And even the syringe himself, if you really want creative, so that means that I could even improvise a water filter by putting the different layers over here, and I have an improvised water filter, so if I come out of my syringe and stuff, I can improvise a water filter. So now this whole size, this space, is how you utilize the space, and we're very good in our survival kit, but it seems like in our first aid kit we're not very good at this. This is a 10cc syringe, so if you have a smaller kit, a 10cc syringe, as you can see, I can still put my syringe in there. The pills didn't fit in, but probably that the space over here for the honey would still work. Pretty much the same concept for around here would work. And the pills instead maybe could even be wrapped out if you want to, or even have a little thing of chlorine over here instead, because it's a smaller kit. But now you can also purify water, and you can even create a solution if you would want to have to clean the wounds and stuff. But obviously a smaller kit is more for a different purpose, and therefore you would have maybe less need of a bigger syringe, because the kind of you would be more in a real, like a survival solution situation versus a more staying in place until the rescue comes. So yeah, and then over here, same thing. I mean, you can use the plunger, you can use the syringe. So I was just wanted to bring this idea out there, because it seems like when we apply it on our first aid, on our survival kits, we're very creative, but it seems like this creativity seems to be lost when we come to our first aid kit. But there is still ways of applying our concepts and how we do our things. So anyway, short video, and hopefully that was useful. Talk to you soon.